Guest that thinks that the new SEC short sale rule, that it falls seriously short. Joining us now from New York, Robert Sloan, S3 Partners managing partner. He's also author of the book, Don't Blame the Short. So when you say, that probably is misleading to say that you think it falls short.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't make sense. You don't want it to be even stronger. You don't like it the way it is, right?
I think, what are we trying to address? We're trying to address investor confidence. And I think what this will actually do will increase volatility and actually will increase long selling when you put these circuit breakers on. So I'm not sure you actually get to what you want.
It's very similar to another uptick rule, isn't it? Just a variation of an uptick rule?
No, that's right.
Well, we always understand that you shouldn't be able to do naked shorting, but it's hard to enforce that, right? Is it possible to enforce that?
Well, no, actually, there are rules in place. I think it's Regulation 204 that you have to buy in the stock if you have a fail on your books after 3 days. So those rules are on the books, and that should clean up the problem.
Well, what we always come back to is you obviously don't need. There's no downtick rule in long investing, right?
Correct.
So it just doesn't seem quite fair. And why did the SEC decide to do this? Is it political pressure or is it logic?
Well, it's interesting. Don't take it from me. I think if you read some of the testimony from Commissioner Casey, I think she makes it pretty clear how she feels about the new rule.
It was 3-2, right?
I'm sorry?
It was 3-2. It wasn't like a slam dunk.
Correct. And I think when the release comes out next week, we'll certainly comb through that and see what evidence and support they have for the new rule.
What would the unintended consequences be to this? There's a lot of people that are not outright short. They're hedging strategies and such.
Right.
What are the unintended consequences?
Well, I think shorting is how the capital markets hangs together. So if you go to any Wall Street firm that rents its capital so that we as investors can get our money when we want it, i.e. liquidity. It's all about offsetting risk, and that enables them to rent their capital to people when they want it. Shorting is a huge part of that. Any product area on Wall Street, you got to short stock to offset risk. That's how you get money out of the marketplace. I think one of the things that we forgot about in the midst of the crisis was that as other markets froze, equity markets traded. People got their money. You may not like the price, but you got your money. The reason why you got your money is because people that had capital to give could offset risk.
All right. During the crisis, I see it everywhere that the argument is that shorting had nothing to do with the crisis. We do know, though, that the credit default swap market, while large, there were certain parts of it where you couldn't really game it, maybe, but you could certainly cause people to question the viability of a firm and then short the stock against it. I mean, that was a strategy that may have been employed to take some of these firms down, no?
Well, you bring up a good point, which is why is it just the cash market when you're talking about shorting? The sophisticated investor can use derivatives, they can use swaps, they can put options, there's all sorts of option strategies, futures. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can short stock and affect a negative bet. So, you're right in that regulation always seems to focus in on the cash markets and doesn't know what to do with the derivative markets.
All right, so what if this stands, what are you going to do?
Well, my worry is that it's an incremental encroachment on liquidity in the marketplace. And, I don't think that's very good for anybody.
All right. Robert, we appreciate your time today.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. See you later.
Right. Bye.